Join Bob Kolazaric as he welcomes a diverse array of guests to the enlightening talk show, Greetings from the Ashram. In each episode, Bob sits down with experts and practitioners from the world of complementary healing modalities, spirituality, and holistic wellness to delve into the transformative power of these practices. From ancient traditions to cutting-edge therapies, Greetings from the Ashram offers viewers an insightful and uplifting journey into the realms of mind, body, and spirit. So now, please welcome your host, Bob Kolazaric.
Hello, everyone. Greetings. Namaste. I am Bob Kolazaric, and we are definitely experiencing a little Mercury retrograde today. I'm flying deaf with the engineering room. I hear no sound from them, but I am told that you can hear me. So I guess that is really the important thing. So like I said, I am Bob Kolazaric. This is Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Rave TV network. Thanks for tuning in. I'm flying solo today. I typically don't plan on flying solo on the show, mainly because it, adds a lot more work for me. Just kidding. But, sometimes things just happen for a reason. And as such, I wanted to take the time to relax a bit and share with you the importance of this time of the year for me. It's a very spiritual and sacred time of the year. As you know, I cover topics on complementary health, complementary healing, spirituality, and holistic wellness. Tonight, I'm going to share a little bit more in depth and reflect about my spiritual path. While our individual spiritual paths are ours alone, we need to learn our own lessons. We need to let go of what no longer serves us and just remember who we really are and the reason for our incarnation, essentially. While our path is ours, nobody says you can't have company along the way. People who walk along the path with us, people who lift us up when we're struggling, as we lift up our friends when they struggle. Very important people to have around. So this episode is really dedicated to the spiritual seekers out there searching for more. The misfits, people who feel like they don't fit in, feel like they don't belong. I was one of those types before, searching, wondering if I'll ever fit in, until I found my path, my tribe, my people through pranic healing and Arhatic yoga. Mind you, there are still times when I feel like I don't fit in and I may withdraw, and it's all part of the growth process. But at the end of the day, I have very dear friends that understand this and give me space when I need it and welcome me back with open arms when I, pull it all back together. Spiritual path is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. Anybody on the spiritual path and been on it for a while will never tell you it's easy, but they will all tell you it's worth it. So as a seeker, let me ask you this. What does spirituality mean to you? I was going to say take some phone calls, but I am not getting any sound from the show at all. But a lot of people I talk to say something along the lines of this. I believe in something. I just don't know what it is, but I believe in God, or they may call it the universe, spirit, Mother Earth, and so on. Wikipedia defines spirituality as an individual's search for ultimate or sacred meaning and purpose in life. Additionally, it can mean to seek out or search for personal growth, religious experience, belief in a supernatural realm or afterlife, or just to make sense of one's own inner dimension. And I fully support that interdimension work, the inner work. That's what it really is all about. And I like that definition. It's a good start. And that brings me to pillar number one of Arhatic yoga. Pillar number one is devotion to a supreme being and reverence to the spiritual teacher. And for us in Arhatic yoga, the sacred time of year kicks off in March. And this year on March 19th, it began with reverence and respect and love to our spiritual teacher, Master Choa Kok Sui, founder of pranic healing and Arhatic yoga. And I have a picture of Master Choa we could put up. Unless we're still experiencing technical difficulty, maybe we can't put up this picture. Oh, there it is. There it is. Let me ask you this, looking at the Master Choa, looking into his eyes, are you sensitive enough to feel the energy emanating from this image? I certainly can, and a lot of people do. He is a amazing, amazing spiritual teacher and guru. Now, on March 19th, Arhatic yogi practitioners around the world celebrated Master Choa Kok Sui's Mahasamadhi. Now, Mahasamadhi is when a great soul consciously leaves the body to attain oneness with God. This was the 17th Mahasamadhi, meaning it's been 17 years since Master Choa consciously left his body, leaving behind an amazing body of work. The systems he created has changed the lives of countless people from around the world in over 120 countries. It's important to have respect for the teacher. It's with the guidance of the teacher that we continue to learn and grow and develop. Like I said, he is truly a great spiritual teacher and guru. Guru meaning dispeller of darkness. And just because he's no longer in the body doesn't mean he still isn't actively working unseen behind the veil. There are many stories of people who've been in very tough predicaments and called on Master Choa for help and received it. I'm one of those people. It doesn't mean that Master Choa replaces any of the holy masters you pray to, but he is an added source of help and comfort for his disciples. Personally, over the years, I've grown to love Master Choa, although it did start with that love, but always respect. But it does not distract from my love for Jesus. I grew up a Catholic, and Jesus has always been a part of my life and always will be. So that was kind of the kickstart of our year. And then, moving on to the end of March 25th, as a community, we gathered together as we do for full moon meditations. This full moon, March 25th, the Aries full moon, also known as the Festival of Easter. It's the first of the three most powerful full moons of the year. It's a time for renew and rebirth. It's the beginning of the spiritual new year, with Aries being the first house in the zodiac. I would love to expound on the whys of it all, but frankly, that's above my pay grade. I don't have that expertise. Energetically, we accept and we feel the power of the full moon. We absorb the divine energy that's in it, and we use it to bless our projects, families, friends, and life in general. Bless the earth through meditation on Twin Hearts. I want to share these excerpts from the Center for Pranic Healing's website, and I would encourage you to check it out at pranichealingusa.com. You can find a lot more information on full moon meditation at the center's website. But essentially, at the time of each full moon, the moon is blocked by the light of the sun in such a way that the transmission of the sun is direct and not distributed by the moon. The glow of the bright full moon is the light of the sun being reflected upon the surface of the moon. And this is where the energies come in. It actually comes from the sun. So each month, our sun enters into the magnetic field of one of the signs of the zodiac and transmits its energy to Earth, either directly or via the ruling planets of that sign. The exact moment of the full moon is when the alignment with all the planetary and solar energy centers presents the highest state of sensitivity and contact. Meditating during the full moon is equivalent to meditating every day for 1 month. And they say when you meditate on the full moon, you absorb the qualities of the sign of the full moon that you're meditating on, such as Aries, Taurus, Gemini, whichever month that it's in. So we've had that first of the three most powerful full moons with the Festival of Easter. March 29th through 31, we had our annual Arhatic Yoga Retreat. And I tell you this again, this is my path. This is my practice. These are the people that, I commune with. And here's a picture at the retreat. We had over 300 people in attendance from different countries and from across the United States. And, what's beautiful about this community is the fact that just about every religion is represented. Everybody on Easter Sunday, March 31st, took time to honor Christ. Master Glenn, Master Marilag, and Master Nona Castro from Canada, she was there at the retreat, led a short ceremony where we all praised the Word of God, lit up our cell phones, and that's the image that you see here on the screen. Like I said, there were about 300 people in attendance. Master Nona is a former Catholic nun. So she would duck out from the retreat periodically to attend Mass. She'd go to Good Friday Mass, Holy Saturday, Easter Sunday. So my point is, Arhatic Yoga doesn't prevent you from practicing your faith. If anything, it helps you to do it with more mindfulness and reverence. Pillar number 2 of Arhatic Yoga is purification. We strive to be better humans through character building, practicing our virtues. I've mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. We practice the virtues of loving kindness, non-injury, generosity, non-stealing, honesty and non-lying, constancy of one-pointedness of aim and effort, non-laziness, and moderation and non-excessiveness. Now, this photo is a group photo of the water purification, is which is one of the rituals that we do. And I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but it's a very powerful practice. And like I said, I don't have the time to get into it, but you come out of the water feeling very light. I can assure you of that. But in order to grow spiritually to a high degree, we have to eliminate the weaknesses. And we have to do our character building exercises. And we have techniques for this. We strive to we strive to do that, to build our character to the highest level that we can, to live by these virtues. Right. So the retreat was fantastic, as they always are, communing with such beautiful souls. When there's that kind of a group, that many souls praying together, tapping into their own divine selves, the energy of the environment is very amazing. It's very powerful, and it's something to be experienced. Of course, along with the practice is pillar number 3 at these retreats. We do our meditations. In our Arhatic Yoga practice, there are several meditations that we do. We do Kundalini meditation. We'll do a Dhyan meditation, which helps with awareness. We do meditation on soul realization and things of that nature. And the different purification techniques we also follow as well. So speaking of meditations, on Tuesday coming up, the next full moon is the full moon of the West Sock on April 23rd, Tuesday, the full moon of Taurus. This is the most powerful full moon of the year. This is a must-attend event for all light workers, and I'm going to explain it momentarily. The West Sock Festival is one where it is highly recommended to attend in person if at all possible. You can also register online if you can take a shot of that QR code. And you can join the group meditation online as well. It's very powerful. It's going to be live streamed, and it is a time where blessings are distributed to the light workers of the world. West Sock, like I said, is the most important of the Buddhist festivals, commemorating the birth, the enlightenment, and the death of the Buddha. We observe that event on the full moon of Taurus, which falls in either April or May. This year it's April 23rd. Last year was May 5th. West Sock is observed as a public holiday in many Southeast Asian countries, and it's recognized by the United Nations. As I mentioned before about our Arhatic Yoga Retreat being during Christian Holy Week, people of all faiths gather together and honor Christ. We take part in the festival of Easter, but the same is true to honor and participate in the West Sock Festival, which is a Buddhist festival. The same people will be there, all coming together, praying, trying to receive the blessings, and just so we can take those blessings and share them with the world after the West Sock ceremony. So I'm going to get more into that in a bit. It's time to take a quick short commercial break. I'm Bob Kolazarik. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'll be right back.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant. Like, I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Bob Kozarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. As we work through our technical issues, I'm flying a little without any hearing today, but that's all good. Like I said, Mercury is in retrograde, so we just deal with it and flow with it as we can. But as I was saying before the break, in our community, we get together, we learn about Christianity, we learn about Buddhism, we learn about Hinduism, but today it's all about the Wesak, which is, like I said, the most sacred time of the year. But if you're not familiar with Buddhism or Buddha, just allow me the indulgence of sharing a little bit of what I know. Now, Siddhartha Gautama, I think I'm pronouncing that right, is known to the world as the Buddha. His teachings, rooted in compassion, wisdom, and enlightenment, have transcended time and space to inspire countless souls on the path to awakening. Born into luxury and privilege, the Buddha renounced his royal heritage in search of a deeper truth that lay beyond the confines of material wealth. Through a profound spiritual quest marked by meditation, asceticism, and inner reflection, he attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in India. Renamed the Buddha, or the Awakened One, he dedicated his life to sharing the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, guiding others towards liberation from suffering and the cycle of birth and death. At the heart of Buddhism lies the Four Noble Truths. It's a foundational framework that encapsulates the essence of human existence and the path to liberation. And here are the Four Noble Truths. The first Noble Truth acknowledges the universal presence of suffering in human life. Suffering encompasses not only physical pain, but also mental anguish, dissatisfaction, and the impermanence of all things. The Buddha taught that birth, aging, illness, death, separation from loved ones, not getting what one desires are all forms of suffering, or dukkha, as they call it. The second noble truth delves into the root cause of suffering, which is identified as craving, attachments, and ignorance. The Buddha taught that our desires, our attachments to worldly pleasures, and ignorance of the true nature of reality lead to suffering. By clinging to impermanent things and seeking fulfillment externally, we perpetuate the cycle of suffering. Does that make sense? How many people I really want this, or I have the expectation of that, and we create that suffering in ourselves. And it's so true. The third noble truth offers hope and liberation by proclaiming that the cessation of suffering is attainable by letting go of cravings, letting go of attachment and ignorance. One can achieve nirvana, a state of ultimate peace, liberation, and enlightenment. Nirvana is the cessation of the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, leading to the end of suffering. The fourth noble truth outlines the noble eightfold path as the way to end suffering and attain enlightenment. And this path consists of interconnected aspects, many of which is found and incorporated into Arhatic Yoga. One is the right view, right viewpoints. Another is the right intention. It's important to have the right intention in life. Right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. By following this path with diligence and mindfulness, individuals can cultivate that inner wisdom, that ethical conduct and mental discipline to transcend the suffering and realize their true nature, which, we're souls having a human experience. When we follow that path and we cultivate that inner wisdom, the ethical contact, we grow as souls, we become more pure, and we can connect higher with our higher selves, and that's what this path is about. But by understanding and embodying these truths, which is important to be the embodiment of these teachings, individuals can embark on a transformative journey towards inner peace, wisdom, and enlightenment. So the legacy of the Buddha extends far beyond his earthly lifetime, resonates across centuries, and continents to touch the hearts and the minds of seekers worldwide. And if you're watching this show, you are a seeker. And I hope that this show reaches you and reaches the people that it needs to reach. I mean, Buddhism, with its diverse schools and traditions, continues to offer solace, guidance, and spiritual nourishment to those who walk the path of awakening. From the serene temples of Japan to prayer flags of Tibet, the teachings of the Buddha endure as a beacon of light in a world shrouded in darkness. I mean, just take a look at the world today. It's dark out there. But there's hope. It offers a message of peace and compassion and interconnectedness. And that's the message of this show. That's what we're all about here. So that being said, it leads me to pillar number 5. Now, I know I skipped pillar number 4, which is service and tithing, which is a very important part of our Arhatic Yoga practice, to be in service in others and to tithe and be generous. I mean, that creates good karma for yourself. You reap what you sow. I think most religions have some form of tithing. But pillar number 5 is continued study. And this evening and tomorrow is Master Glenn is teaching achieving oneness with the higher soul. And I would love to have been there tonight, but I wanted to be here to share this with you. Tonight and tomorrow, he's teaching achieving oneness with the higher soul. And on Sunday, April 21st, he's teaching the inner teachings of Buddhism revealed. Both exceptional workshops. I have taken them both, and I would, like I said, personally love to be there. But I wanted to be here to take time with you tonight, the spiritual seekers, to let you know some of these deeper spiritual workshops that are available. So again, on Tuesday, if you're free and not working, Master Glenn will also be providing a talk on the teachings of Buddha from 12 to 5 p.m. I think we could throw up that Wesak Festival graphic again, which I know it's a work day for many of you, but if you had the time, I would highly recommend sitting in and learning about the Buddha. It's worthwhile. It's from 12 to 5 p.m., like I said. I will be making the 2-hour trek from Philly up to Secaucus, New Jersey, where the event is being held, to participate in that. I participated in a few times, but every time you learn a little bit more and you get those teachings to, sink in and take hold. Now, while there's prerequisites for achieving oneness with the higher soul and inner teachings of Buddhism, requires the basic pranic healing workshop, there is no prerequisite for the talk on the teachings of Buddha. And if it resonates with you, you're welcome to attend. And again, please attend the Wesak Festival. If you're any type of light worker, if you're a seeker, it's really kind of important to attend. Like I said, haven't attended it many times. It's really powerful. It's worthwhile. I do want to circle back, quickly to achieving oneness with the higher soul, because this goes to the heart of what we do as our Arhatic yoga practice. You'll learn there are different stages of soul realization. The first stage is the intellectual understanding and realization that you are the soul, a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, divine power. We begin to understand that we are not the body with a soul, but a soul with a body. Oftentimes you've heard, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and it is so true. We're not the thoughts. We're not our emotions. We have thoughts and we have emotions, but we aren't these thoughts. We're not these emotions. The second stage is to begin experiencing one's true self during the meditations. As you do your meditation practice regularly, you begin to experience not being able to feel the physical body or even have that feeling of being out of body. I've had many out-of-body experiences during meditation, as many other seasoned practitioners have, and which is, according to Master Choa, it's the soul occupying other subtle bodies of light and being able to travel at speeds faster than light. Master Choa goes on to say that with further development, yogis may have an experiential realization that the nature of the soul is basically that of a being of light, our true essence. Now, doesn't this bring the term light worker to a whole different level, to a deeper meaning? We're starting to do the work of the soul, which is what many seekers are looking for. People like yourself watching this show or listening to this show. It comes from within, and you have to do the work, and there are no shortcuts. The next stage in soul realization is the incarnated soul, which is you, which is us, our soul in the body, our soul with the body, to have union with your higher self. And you come to realize that there really is no separation between and your higher self. And the final stage, the highest level one can achieve and can experience oneness with the divine spark within, also known as God realization. And I have no idea how many lifetimes this would take. I mean, coming into soul realization, I don't know how many lifetimes it will take. But the good news is, whatever our spiritual development is at the time of our death, whenever that will be, when we reincarnate, we will continue on with the spiritual development that we achieved prior to dying. So that's the good news, but it's a lifelong process, life after life, time after time, but it is the work of the soul. It's why we're here, to learn and to grow, and to experience life, experience the universe, experiencing all these things through us. Now, excuse me one second. There are prerequisites for becoming an Arhatic yoga practitioner. And that includes taking the following workshops. It's the basic pranic healing workshop, the advanced pranic healing workshop, and the pranic psychotherapy workshop. And there's just a genius in that. I mean, when I started down the path of Arhatic yoga and getting into pranic healing, I wanted to just get into the Arhatic yoga. I wanted the deep spiritual aspect of it. But in order to start to understand the soul, you have to start understanding the energy body and get accustomed to it and learn about it. And so if you're interested in any of these, and I hope that you are, please reach out. I am not an instructor of any of these, but I can certainly guide you to the proper instructor for wherever you live, wherever you reside. So, but in my process during my training, I became a associate certified pranic healer. Then I continued on through the healing pods and became a certified pranic healer, and then advanced certified pranic psychotherapy healer, right? So that's several years of development and training, and all the while practicing the Arhatic yoga with the groups that we have and the practices and the many retreats. It's just been a phenomenal journey. And anybody out there, like I said, seeking, looking to find a community of people that can keep you, inspired and moving along. This is the group to do it with. Like I said, this show dedicated to the seekers out there. So I just really am trying to, tell you a little bit more about me, the depth of my studies and what I believe in, the education that I get and the people that I do it with. So it's time to take another short commercial break. I'm Bob Kozarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'll be right back after this.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like it was almost instant, like I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Bob Kozarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I want to take this last segment to touch upon the sacredness of the Wesak. This will be my 6th Wesak festival. And when the time comes for the Wesak, and we gather together, we're in the room, the energy in the room shifts. I mean, there's divine energy coming down now, and it just is going to peak at the time of Wesak. All the spiritual aspirants in attendance, they go inwards. Everybody gets quiet. I mean, there's such a sacred energy that fills the space. It's very noticeable. Nobody's talking. Everybody's within, and they're just really feeling it. And it's a very sacred time. In my mind's eye, walking into the space, I can see the valley of where we will, energetically travel for the ceremony, if you will. I don't want to get too woo-woo, but like I said, this is a very spiritual, sacred time. And there is a valley in the heart of the Himalayas in Western Tibet, surrounded by mountains all around except in the northeast, which has a narrow pathway that's open in the northeast direction, creating a bottleneck shape for the valley with its neck to the northeast. The width of the valley widens towards the south, and there's a huge flat rock located in the northern end, near the neck of the valley. Now, near the time of the full moon, the valley gets filled with pilgrims from various areas. The spiritual aspirants, lamas, teachers, They find their way into the valley and they locate themselves in the southern and middle parts, leaving the northeastern portion free. In this way, all the men and women of goodwill, and more importantly, the will to do good, who are active parts of the divine plan on earth, gather together for this auspicious moment that we know as Wesak. These groups of spiritual workers, light workers, if you will, are the main participants of the Wesak celebration. As the legend runs, they arrange themselves in a special geometrical pattern in the northeastern end of the valley and become prepared for the great act of service to the world and mankind to help manifest the divine plan on earth. This geometrical pattern is composed of a 5-pointed star surrounded by concentric circles. Now, if you're able to join us for the Wesak, you'll see that there are members of our group that are set up in a pattern of a 5-pointed star with a concentric circle of 7 around them, and then with another concentric circle of 9. I have been blessed the last couple of years to have been in the concentric circle of 9. Okay. So it is believed that in front of the altar rock, the 3 world leaders teachers stand. The Lord Christ stands in the center with the Manu, or Lord of Civilization, on his right, and the Mahasamadhi, who's a great master, on his left. These 3 great souls face the rock upon which a great crystal bowl full of water is located. It's Wesak blessed water. Behind the spiritual masters, arhats, initiates, adepts, and senior workers of the world, the world's disciples, aspirants stand at their various grades and groups, either with their physical body or without it. And these are believed to be the new group of world servers. The ones who are not in the physical body are gathered in the spiritual form or in the dream state to participate in this great world service. And that's exactly what we do as part of this ceremony. And not trying to get overly woo-woo, hopefully just woo-woo enough, but having been there and experienced it, I could tell you it's quite powerful. When the exact time of the Wesak full moon approaches, a deep state of stillness and calmness settles upon the crowd, and we're that way walking in even before the ceremony starts. But the energies generated and the vibrations experienced make the group work as one united whole, ready to receive that higher spiritual energies, and so we can distribute it to the world. The exact time of Wesak approaches, the participants look up at the sky in the directions of the narrow path where they can see a tiny speck, which comes closer and closer. The form of the Lord Buddha then appears, sitting in his Buddha posture with his saffron-colored robe, full of light, with his hand extended in blessing. When the Buddha arrives at the point exactly over the great rock and the crystal bowl of water, an invocation is recited by all the people participating in the Wesak festival, which sets a great vibration with a great potency on the people present and the entire world, creating a moment of intensive spiritual effort and an invaluable service to humanity, with effects that last throughout the succeeding months. This energy is blessed and is released from Shambhala upon the earth through the Buddha, is then poured forth, and the Christ, as the representative of humanity, receives it for distribution to all. The water in the crystal bowl is then held up and blessed by him as the participants come forward one by one to sip the water. Participants, like we'll all have our own water containers to receive blessings during the ceremony, especially at the final blessing. So based on the legend, the Lord Buddha returns every year in the festival of Wesak to transmit a renewed spiritual energy and life through the Christ to humanity and the earth. Then he recedes into the distance and disappears until the next year. He does this year after year. The blessings poured by Buddha last only for 8 minutes every year during the time of Wesak festival, and the whole ceremony lasts about 30 minutes. When the ceremony ends, Buddha holds up his right hand in blessing and slowly recedes and is seen again as a tiny speck in the sky. When Buddha disappears, the meditation finishes, the crowd disappears, heading back to where they come from to continue service to mankind. So that's the Wesak Festival in a nutshell. Now, what I mentioned is very brief and are taken from excerpts of writings of Alice Bailey. Some of these teachings can be very hard to decipher and hard to interpret. But the good news is Master Glenn and my dear friend Don Myers have just released their latest collaboration, a book called The Wesak Festival, The Sacred Convergence for Humanity. I think we have a graphic on that we could put up. So anyway, I do have, yeah, there it is. It's a pre-order book. Actually, I think mine will be shipping very soon. I pre-ordered at the retreat. I talked to Dawn. She said they should be coming anyway. But I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I'm really sure it is written in a style that will be easy to understand. You know, I would have asked Master Glenn to be on the show today, but as I mentioned, he's busy teaching the advanced spiritual workshops this weekend and getting ready for the Wesak Festival. And I'm sure Dawn is probably helping in, you know, these workshops over the weekend as she typically does. Now, like I said, Dawn is a very dear friend of mine. She is very private and shy person, much more of a introvert than me. So I was having dinner with her at the retreat, and I told her, I'm only going to ask you once, and I'm not going to bring it up again. But as the producer of the show, you know, responsible for content, you know, you want to be on the show to promote your book. And she just laughed, said no, and said, talk to Master Glenn. Now, if you know anything about Master Glenn, that man is busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. I mean, that's pretty busy. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, I do a lot with Dawn. I know her quite well. And I do know Wesak is her favorite time of the year. She's so passionate about Wesak and the work that she does. And I know she and Master Glenn put their heart and soul into writing this book. So I would encourage you to get a copy. I mean, if what I talked about briefly about the Wesak Festival, it's super powerful. Master Glenn was telling a story after the retreat. He and Dawn went to Long Island to talk to a group about Arhatic Yoga. And Master Glenn, his amiable self, you know, I highly encourage you to come to the Wesak Festival. You know, it would be really good. It's very important, you know, yada, yada. And then he said, Dawn stood up and she's like, no, it's mandatory. You be there. And, you know, I could totally see her saying that. I mean, I've been meditating with her in her Arhatic Yoga practice group for the last 3.5 years. In fact, last night, Thursday nights is our meditation on the Blue Pearl, meditation for soul realization. That, you know, we do that on Thursdays. And that is a meditation you would learn in taking the achieving oneness with the higher self. You know, we also healed together in the healing pod yesterday afternoon. So my point is, I see her often. She's one of the people in my tribe that understands me when I withdraw. And I talked about, you know, how I withdraw and people withdraw, but she always welcomes me back when I return. I mean, we're good friends. Her son, Jack, was actually on my show in episode 8, sharing their charity, Kids with Compassionate Hearts. And the reason I'm telling you this is I understand her passion for Wesak. I understand her belief in the divine plan and doing the work in order to try to make the world a better place. She's definitely one of the people that I'm closest to in the community through the work we do with the Healing Pod and our meditation practice. And I'm so happy and blessed to promote their book on the Wesak Festival, as there would be no Greetings from the Ashram without these beautiful souls in my life and their inspiration and guidance to me over the years. In fact, I feel that I've had my own personal blessings from Wesak. I've talked about this in the past, but it was last year on the day of Wesak, it was May 5th, that I was first in contact with Bold Brave TV, wanting to talk about doing a show. Now, in my wildest dreams, I would never have thought I would be doing anything like this. But I feel, and you could call it coincidence or not, but, you know, I took away some blessings, and here I am talking and sharing, you know, these deep spiritual concepts, bare my soul, and trying to share the power and the blessings of the Wesak, trying to be the best light worker I can be, doing my soul work. So it's just, like I said, I am so grateful and feel so blessed. And I just really wanted to share this with you today. So it is time to take another short commercial break. I'm your host, Bob Kozarek, and this is Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'll be right back.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Bob Kozarek, and this is Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I just want to thank you all for allowing me the indulgence of talking about my spiritual path and the spirituality aspects of it and the sacredness of it and how important it is to me and the people that I'm just grateful to be able to do this work with. But as we draw near the end of today's episode, I just want to reflect again on the profound journey that we've talked upon about the teachings of the Buddha. This is Buddha season, the essence of Buddhism and the timeless wisdom that guides us towards liberation and enlightenment. I think for all the seekers out there not knowing what we're looking for, I think, we're looking for liberation and enlightenment. So in exploring the life of the Buddha, we have witnessed the transformative power of spiritual awakening and the courage it takes to seek truth beyond the illusions of the material world. The Buddha's journey from prince to ascetic to enlightened teacher serves as a beacon of hope and inspiration for all seekers on the path to self-realization. Through the core teachings of Buddhism, encapsulated in the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, we have uncovered a roadmap to liberation, a roadmap from suffering and the attainment of nirvana. It's possible. For some of us, it may take lifetimes, but it is possible, right? By embracing the truths of suffering, its cessation, and the path to liberation, we're invited to walk the path of wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness towards ultimate freedom. The legacy of the Buddha resonates across time and space, offering solace, guidance, and spiritual nourishment to all who seek refuge in his teachings. From the serene temples of the East to the bustling cities of the West, the message of peace, compassion, and interconnectedness continues to echo through the hearts of those who heed the call of awakening. So as we conclude today's episode, just let us carry the light of the Buddha within us, illuminating our path with wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness. May we embody the spirit of the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path in our daily lives, cultivating inner peace, harmony, and enlightenment in a world hungry for healing and transformation. May the teachings of the Buddha inspire us to walk the path of awakening with humility and grace, embracing the impermanence of life, the interconnectedness of all beings, and the boundless potential that lies within each and every one of us. Let us honor the Buddha's legacy by embodying his teachings and thoughts and words and in deeds, spreading love, compassion, and wisdom wherever we go. That's what we strive to do in Arhatic Yoga. So I want to thank you for joining me on this sacred journey through the life and teachings and the legacy of the Buddha. May his light guide you, protect you, and inspire you on your own path of spiritual growth and self-realization. And if you're a serious spiritual seeker, consider a practice such as Arhatic Yoga, a like-minded community of people searching for that divinity within themselves so they can be beacons of light for those seeking to deepen their understanding of life, connecting to the dignity and the divinity within yourself, and to brighten your own light so you can become a beacon of light for others. This is our mission. And the more of the merrier, as they say. The world needs you. So until we meet again, may peace, love, and blessings be with you always. Namaste. I'll see you next week.
This has been Greetings from the Ashram with host Bob Kolazarik. Through meaningful conversations and practical insights, this show invites you to explore the endless possibilities for personal growth, healing, and spiritual awakening. Tune in each week to discover how these practices can bring balance and harmony to your life, making it a true journey of self-discovery. Fridays, 7 p.m. on the Bold Brave TV network.